Hey everyone, today I wanted to show you a simple method on how you can fix your character here in PoE2 if you feel like you're stuck in the second half of the campaign or the earlier parts of the end game. This is definitely not a video designed for level 90 plus characters who are already stomping all over the end game. This is going to be more of a tutorial on how to use the trade to fix your character. Here in 0.3, trade is very powerful, but because crafting is now very powerful, the actual economy is much more balanced, which means we can actually use trade to our advantage to basically fix our character for very cheap. So guys, if you find the video useful at all, hit like and subscribe for me. So first thing we want to do is actually come over here to Ange, and we're going to pool our resources. So let's assume that you've just hit endgame, you're roughly level 65, and you have almost no exalts to work with whatsoever. So exalted orbs are the main trading currency in this game for anything up to, I don't know, level 75 or so. Once you start getting up above level 80, 85, 90, then you're going to need the higher tier currencies like divines to really purchase the more expensive stuff. But to fix your character when it feels broken in the earlier parts, you only need exalted orbs. So we're going to come here to the currency exchange. What do we want? We want exalted orbs. So let's smash in exalted. And what you want to do is come over here into owned, and you want to see what currency you currently have available. As you can see, I don't have that much currency available as I've been trading my way up to get stronger gear. So, but what you can do is come in here, and you would be surprised just how much value you might have just sitting around here in your inventory, not really doing anything. Okay, so this is a 1 to 2.5. I don't have very many of these, so that's actually not a good place to start. What are chaos trading for at the moment? So we could get 3 to 1. So I had, how many chaos did I have? I had currently, what, 4 sitting in here? Yeah, 4 chaos orbs at the moment. So if we put this up to, say, 12... There we go. We could easily get 12 exalts out of our chaos orbs there. Alchemies, yeah, this is a 1 to 50. Probably not worth doing it on alchemies. You would be surprised at what you might have currently sitting in here that can be converted into exalted orbs. So have a look through here. Stuff like the chance orbs and chance shards. As you can see, they can provide you some value here as well. So number one, what you want to do is pool your resources. Just have a look what you have and what you can give up and get yourself a little stack of exalted orbs. I would say you only really need maybe 5 to 6 to really start, get this going. If you are able to pool yourself about 10, you're going to be in a good spot. So you just want to go through here and get as many exalts as you can. If you have literally no currency, you're just going to have to farm the highest level zone that you're comfortable farming until you can get either a few exalts drop or a few other materials that you can actually trade for exalts. Now, it's also worth noting even stuff like the runes can be traded here. The runes don't necessarily give you much value, and some of them don't even have stock, but I think it's worth pointing out that the omens actually can give you quite a few exalts depending on which ones you currently have. There is also the fragments and that sort of stuff. You probably won't have these yet. So you might have a few essences lying around too. Some of these essences are worth quite a bit. So the other ones to keep your eye out for are the liquid emotions here, as well as stuff like this, the simulacrum splinters. They're not going to give you a lot, but you can trade them in for some exalts as well. Okay, so let's say you've got yourself just a little stack of exalted orbs. So if you're on PC, what you want to do is press the /. This will bring up the in-game trade market. If you're on console, what you're going to have to do is come here into the pause menu, and there will be a link in here. But for PC users, press that / button. Now, don't get too overwhelmed by all of the filters in here. It's actually very simple. I'm going to show you how you can use the trade. So let's just get the inventory up. I've got a couple of examples in here. Let's just say that this was the helmet I'm rocking on my sorceress by the time I hit level 65 and I get through to the end game. This thing only has 78 energy shields, not very much. It's only got 15 to cold resistance, energy shield restart, and maximum mana is okay for the build. Maximum life, depending on whether you're using chaos or inoculation. As you can see, I've currently got chaos inoculation on, so for me, that would actually be kind of a useless stat. So, okay, so let's go helmet. So you can search up here, but the easiest way to do this to search for particular stuff is to come up here to the type filter, click here and we'll go helmets. Click on the helmet. Very good. Now we can also choose rarity. If we specifically want to thin out the search onto rares only, we can do that. We also have an item level. So the item level is not the required level that you see here. The item level is actually separate to that. So the required level is down here. So let's say we're currently level 65. So we want the maximum level requirement of the items that show up in trade to be at level 65. So we can come down here for that one. So this is item level. This is actually separate. So there is also item quality. So if you want to search for items that already have their quality added on there, you can put max of 20, for example. I'm not really going to worry about that for now. What I'm going to do, though, is come down here for energy shield. So equipment filters. This is everything from damage, crit chance, block. All of this stuff is here, right? You see a line for each single one. There's even spirit, energy shield, armor. This is perfect. So our helmet has got, only 78. Let's see if we can get at least a double up of that, right? Now, there's also a lot of other filters here, end game filters. We don't have to worry about this sort of stuff. This is all, as you can see, this is all Waystone and Ultimatum stuff. So this, we can take that off. We don't care about that. Now, the miscellaneous stuff has some interesting stuff. If you are searching for a gem, putting your minimum gem level or maximum gem level is going to be really, really nice. You can get an upgraded arc or spark, for example, by searching spark and searching for a particular gem level, for example, right? Now, the miscellaneous filters also have stuff for corruption, unidentified items, unrevealed items. So this is for the new crafting stuff as well. There's actually a lot of stuff in here that's really, really powerful for you to use. However, for our example here on the helmet, we actually don't really care about any of that stuff. Now, the buyout price, if we wanted to put a maximum of 1 exalt, we could find all of the most dirt cheap stuff. We could put a maximum of 2, depending on how rich we are. However, we can also just leave it blank. Now, what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we're still getting our cold resistance. So what is this line here? The stat filter down the bottom is incredibly powerful for you to search for specific filters. You can free type anything in here. Let's go cold resistance and explicit cold resistance. We could also put, let's say we needed more fire resistance for our setup too. We could put both cold and fire resistance. Now, let's just quickly search and see what this will bring up. Okay, so this is showing us a lot of different results, which means we can actually afford to be a little bit greedier. Look how cheap these are. These are just 1 regal too, so we can actually afford to be a little bit greedier. We might even look for more energy shield here. Let's go 200 instead of 150 there. Okay, this is a 3 regal. We're in 1 exalt range now. And look at this, 188. We got energy shield, got fire res and cold res together. Look at this. We got max mana, 35 cold res and 35 fire res. This is actually a pretty decent item for the level 65 range. Now, we've got the max level of 65 in our requirement here. So we're actually not going to see anything that we can't equip at the moment if we were level 65. Now, my real character in the game's higher level than that, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so we could potentially even get greedier here. All right, well, let's see. We could go to 50 and just see. What does that come up? Okay, we're still in the range of 1 exalt here, which is really, really nice. So we could even be a little greedier about what we do. Look, we even got some rarity. So this right here is an item we might want to consider. So the item level is level 80, but the required level for us to equip it is actually level 65 and 91 intelligence. So as long as you've got the 91 intelligence, I accidentally pressed something there, so we don't want to do that. So there are plenty of helmets here that would be a huge increase for us, and they're all in that 1 exalted orb range, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's say we wanted to get even greedier here. Let's say 25, 25. What else is interesting here? Rarity seems to be pretty popular, so increase rarity of items found. Let's see. So now we're up in the 5 exalt range, right? So this is maybe a little more expensive than you would want to spend if you are level 65 and you have basically no currency to spend. So you might want to put these down to 20 if you did want to go rarity. If you don't really care that much about rarity, you could actually take this off. And let's say We're looking for maximum mana, so we'll go max mana. Let's say we wanted a mana and intelligence roll for our, if I can spell, and intelligence roll for our sorceress here. Okay, we're still in that 1x range, and we got what? Not very high intelligence, not very high mana rolls. Let's get a little greedier. Let's say 50 minimum, and I don't know, let's say 20. Okay, now we're in that 5, 7, 15. Okay, so now these items are getting a little bit more expensive, right? So you can judge for yourself. Maybe intelligence. Maybe we want some max mana. Maybe we don't care about intelligence. So these ones are a little bit more expensive, as they are slightly better items. But what you could do if you are okay with your mana reserves, you could push the energy shield instead and really try and get as much value out of the energy shield as you want. There is a single one here right now, which is 1x, and then look, the rest of these are like 15. So that's an interesting item here. 257. We also got quite a lot of cold res and fire is here. So reduced attribute requirements can be really useful on your build as well. This one is chaos resistance too. So chaos resistance is a bit rarer, so they're usually a little bit more expensive. So if it was me, something like this would be pretty good if we needed fire and cold rares. That is a huge upgrade compared to the one I have as an example here in my inventory. So that is one that we could consider purchasing with a single exalted orb. So let's now go over to the weapon. So let's just say that we had this as our weapon when we hit level 65. So this thing is +2 level of all lightning spell skills. It's got mana regen, light radius, maximum mana, and spell damage. So it's okay for the campaign, but for end game, this is pretty bad. So let's just come here and clear our filters first, and we'll go again. We'll go item category. We'll go wand this time. Item category, we'll go wand. Okay, rarity. We can go for rare here. Item level, we don't care too much about. Equipment. Now, we don't actually care for energy shields so much on this. We could go stuff like damage and all that, but instead, for this one, we'll go the max level requirement, again, of 65. We're assuming for this particular example that our character is level 65. I'm just going to ignore that stuff and come back down into the stat filters here. So what do we want? We want level of all lightning spell skills. So let's go lightning, and we've got level of lightning spell skills. It's this one here. And we've got a 2 on here at the moment. So we could see how expensive the 3s are. We also, what do we have on here? Max mana and spell damage. Let's go for spell damage, and let's go for a minimum of 50 here. And what else did we have? We got maximum mana on here too. So let's go for a maximum mana. And let's just see what the trade has available. Okay, so these are pretty cheap. We've ended up somewhere, we've got a +3. We've got max mana and spell damage. As you can see, we're in the 1x sort of range here already with a +3 with a max mana and spell damage. So we could potentially get a little greedier here. Maybe let's put an 80 in here, and let's see, what do we have? We're still in that 1 exalt sort of range here. 82% spell damage. Extra damage is fire damage, plus we get the extra 10% because it already has one of these in here. For 1 exalted orb, this would be a significant damage upgrade. We get extra 23% here, another, 30 or so percent here. We get the +1 level, and we also get more intelligence out of this one too. Plus 131 total maximum mana. So this is something we could consider buying if we were level 65. As you can see, the item level is a bit higher, but we don't have to worry about that for actually equipping it. It is the required level for the equipping there. So also, as you notice, I just clicked that and it reordered everything. So you can totally do that. Be careful. This can actually mess you up on some of your searches. So just be wary of that. You can, of course, just come and do the search again if you need to get back to where you were. So, okay, so we're doing all right. Let's go for intelligence as well. Okay, these are 1x, so why don't we even put cast speed on here too? So this might increase things even more. Let's say 10x, okay. 90% spell damage, max mana, +5 int. Maybe the int is not worth putting on. So let's take the int off. See what sort of price range. You're in the 3x range here. 92% spell damage, +3. got some cast speed. We've even got the crit on here as well. The extra 26% damage. This one is 97 with 144 plus 3 and some cast speed. That cast speed is not very high. You could potentially get more, but as you can see, we're already up above. We're in the sort of 5 to 10 range here already. So if you didn't care about your mana, if you felt like your mana reserves were okay, I mean, you could take that off and just go harder into damage stats. You could even go crit chance for spells, for example. Just be aware that crit chance and crit chance for spells are listed separately in here, so you could potentially even search. Now we're getting up to the 20x sort of range here, so extra crit chance is a pretty sought after stat for crit builds, right? So as you can see, though, they do start to get more expensive when we're talking about adding certain affixes like crit on top of stuff like cast speed, spell damage, etc., etc. So one thing that you could also check is if we take these off, what happens if we put a 4 in here? How expensive are 4s? Can we even equip a 4? We could potentially get a +4 with crit chance here for 1x. This is interesting. We don't have spell damage on here, but look at this one. We got 2% increases. We got max mana +4, and we got some crit stuff on here. So there's certainly some interesting stuff. If we add the spell damage on top, what are we looking at here? Still 1x. Okay, so these spell damage. Let's say 50 minimum with a +4. What is that? 2x. Okay, so you can sort of use this to gauge how expensive things, how valuable things are too. So here we got a +4 with a 71% and 24% extra. We get life per enemy killed, and we've got the attributes there. So if I was going to get one of these, something that has the +% damage, spell damage, and a +4 with mana regen is actually pretty nice. It just depends on how rich you're feeling. If you are level 65 stuck in that early end game sort of phase, doing this method is going to be really, really nice. Now, I want to quickly go over a few other item types. I also want to show you the fact that if you just say you wanted to get a higher level spark, but you just didn't have the actual gems dropping for you, this is where you can come down. Now, let's just say we were able to equip a level 16 gem, but we just weren't having the 16s drop for us because we're not going against high enough level enemies. So we got Spark up here. We got the gem level 16. So we can actually search for a level 16. Now, some of these will already be corrupted. Some of them will have 4 slots. Some of them might actually have 5. So this is a 5 link. It's got a -1 from corruption, so not ideal necessarily, but it's a 5 link there for only 3x. We've got 4 links here, +1 level from corruption, which is interesting. This is level 15 from the gem, plus a level 16. So now, if you wanted to filter off the corrupted items, you get corrupted no, and we can do another search. As you can see, the uncorrupted ones, they're a bit more expensive, especially for the 5 link, but this is going to increase your damage quite a bit as well. Now, obviously, if you can't afford 30x right now, that's totally fine. However, getting a 5 link spark, if you are running the spark, obviously is going to be really, really nice for your setup. Let's just clear that again, and now I want to show you something else here. Let's go for rings this time. So rings are really interesting in the game at the moment. There are a few unique rings, but let's go rare. I actually want to come down here. Now, damage rings are generally pretty expensive. Let me show you. If we just wanted, let's say we wanted mana regeneration and cast speed together. Not too bad. We should be able to pick up something like this very, very cheap, right? As you can see, not even a regal. So let's go 20 minimum and mana regen, let's say 50 minimum. What is that going to do for us? Okay, in the 1x range, so we can start adding some other stats. Let's just say we really needed some resistances on here too. Let's just say fire and lightning is really what we needed. So let's do that. Okay, no results found. Okay, so we can't actually get of that combination from anything that's in the trade at the moment. So that's interesting. Okay, so this is an example. We get mana regen. Okay, this would be more for physical damage or regular weapon damage. not for spells. As you can see, this is adding physical damage to attacks. Not really what we're looking for. We would want spell damage or elemental damage, stuff like that instead. But as you can see, we got 2x, we got cast speed, fire res, and mana regen. Not the greatest items. Unfortunately, rings, they are a little bit more expensive. Let's just say your resistances were okay, though, and you wanted to go harder into damage. We could go lightning damage here, too, and we'll have a look. What comes up? Still in the 1x sort of range. Very low lightning damage rolls. How much can it roll on a ring, too? Okay, 24. This is the 3x kind of range strength, too. So just depending on what you need for your build, if you need resistances, you can totally go resistances instead, right? Resistance. Let's say we just wanted that fire, but let's say we needed a big fire roll. Let's say we needed a plus 30 there. Okay, we're in the 5x range here. Fire res. We're still getting some wasted stats here, but rings are a little bit more expensive when it comes to getting really, really good end-game damage sort of rings, right? Increased elemental damage, fire, resistance, mana, regeneration rate for a 10x. So just depending on what you have in your build at the moment, what your build really, really needs. But yeah, the rings can get really expensive. So just depending on where you're at, if you need the resistances, they can roll on rings. So one other item that I do want to show you here as well is the belt. So something like the Ingenuity Utility Belt is really, really good. And you can actually pick one up for 1x. You know, these values won't be crazy, crazy high, but this is another way that you can boost the stat values on your rings, right? Increase bonuses gained from left ring and bonuses gained from right ring. So this is a really useful item. It's also very, very cheap, as you can see here. So now I just want to show you something else. So when you, let's just type in I can't see. Let's just type in resistances. Now, if we actually scroll down, we also have implicit and fractured stuff here. So let's just say we wanted a cold implicit on here, and there are absolutely none available at the moment, which is really interesting. Okay, we'll go lightning res. We also got enchants. You can potentially enchant these rings too. Oh, sorry, not the rings, the belts. So you can have a look through the extra filters there. As you can see, this one has the extra lightning resistance on it, which is not too bad. Also 1 exalt. So really, really useful. But let's just say you didn't want to use that particular belt for whatever reason, and you just want a regular old belt to help out your build. Belts are interesting in this game. Let's go for rare. So belts can roll a lot of resistances for you, the rare belt. So let's go cold res, we'll go fire, resistance, and let's go the triple res right here. Just don't go the pseudo, go this explicit one when you're doing most of these searches. Go for cold. Let's go the triple resistance. I'm going to show you these. Belts can be pretty cheap and pretty good for your build defensively. They can really help you fill out your resistances. Okay, we've got a triple resistance one here. 20, 20, 20. It's actually a 10x, so maybe we'll just go 15 minimums, and we'll see if we can pick up something for 1 exalt, and we'll see what kind of value we can get. Okay, we're in the single X range. Now we've got 29, 23, and 18, plus 131 armor. And we've got Thorns damage, which is also interesting too. We've got the triple res here, 36, 15, and 18. We're in the 3x range here now, so cold res lightning. Just depending where you're at in the game, triple resistance belt might actually slot perfectly into your build. It might be useless for your build, just depending on where you're at in the game. If you're at the early end game sort of area, these belts might be useful for you. Now, I just want to show you something else in here. Let's use the helmet, for example, again. We'll go helmet. Let's go for spirit. We do want to put just a rare here. Let's go for spirit. Let me show you this explicit first. Nothing comes up, right? So let's take that out. If we go spirit, and if we scroll down to the enchant, let's have a look. So you can actually enchant your helmets with spirit in this game. So if you are, let's say, 20 to 30 spirit short and you just can't remove or replace your chest piece on your amulet, you can totally just get a free spirit roll on a helmet if you look for one that is enchanted here in trade. As you can see, they're dirt cheap. So let's, again, we'll go equipment filters for energy shield. Let's just go that 250 again and just see if anything comes up. Okay, so this is a 3x sort of range. You got the plus 20. We've got some cold rares. Decent amount of energy shield. This one does require level 70 though. So we could go requirements and we go level 65. If you are at the end game, level 70 is pretty easy to get to. So if you are only level 65 right now, getting to level 70 is actually not that hard. As you can see, these ones with Spirit on them will be a little bit more expensive because Spirit is a little bit more of a premium stat that you can actually get in the game. And they don't normally roll on these rare helmets as easily as they do on the chest pieces and stuff, for example. So that's also something else you might want to keep your eye out for. Okay, so let's also just have a look at focuses. These are really interesting in the game. So focus is your offhand for your magic user here, our sorceress. So equipment filters, these things can roll with quite a bit of energy shield as well. Now, these can also roll spell skills, plus to all spell skills, which is very, very useful for our sort of build here. Okay, we've got a plus 2, 41% mana regen, lots of mana. Not too bad, depending on where you're at in the game. This is, again, level 70. So let's put that requirement of level 65 back on. Let's just say, for example, you were still level 65. What do we have in here? Plus 1 level to spell skills. Energy shield. Quite a big energy shield roll for level 65, but it's only a plus 1, right? So what you could do... These are only 1x, so what you could do is come down here and put 2 as the minimum. And then what do we have? Plus 2. We're still in that 1 to 2x range. So you know what? Let's just have a look at the plus 3s and see what they roll. Okay. So this is the 5x sort of range. So let's just go back to plus 2 and let's go spell damage as well. Let's see if we can get this combo for cheap. Okay, this is the 10x sort of range. A plus 2 with a spell damage roll. This one's not bad though. It's got some good stats on it overall. Lightning resistance, mana regeneration, pretty useful stats to have. So these sorts of things can roll crit as well though. So let's go for crit for spells, crit chance for spells. Now this is going to start getting more expensive the more damage stuff that we start stacking on here as well. So it's a good example though. You can pick up a plus 2 or a plus 3 for really, really cheap. You can get a plus, like a god roll plus 1 for 1x, right? So just depending on where you're at in the game. So guys, trade is really powerful. It's actually really, really simple to use. These filters are very, very strong. They don't really take that long to get used to either. You can do it all in game now. You do not have to use the trade website. You can use the trade website if you want to have the trade up on another screen and you like having, you know, your stuff in game on your main screen. You can totally do that as well. I will leave a link down to the main website for trade as well. So just have a look through the filters. We got everything: item level, quality, damage, crit. I mean, you can have a look through here, the requirements. Also have our attribute requirements here. End game filters is stuff like waystones and the ultimatum. Miscellaneous is going to give us gem level, area level, the identified, corrupted, all this sort of stuff. Very, very useful. Trade filters, we can set a maximum or minimum price, which is really, really nice. There's a few other things. A gold fee. If you don't have much gold, you can put your maximum gold fee in there as well. Here, I would just leave buyout or fixed price. You don't have to meddle with any of that sort of stuff, mess with that sort of stuff. And here is our stat filter. So the stat filters are very, very powerful. So one thing I'll just say at the end here, guys, if you are doing a search and just nothing is coming up, it means that stat either doesn't exist in the way that you're searching it on that item, or that there is literally nothing on the trade like that. Either way, you're going to have to fiddle with your filters here to try and see if you can get something else to show up. So Guys, I hope you found this useful. This totally got me out of a rut when I first hit the end game. I pulled all my resources, I went to trade, and because crafting is really powerful in this patch, the economy between trade and crafting and actually getting items, it has not inflated like crazy like it did in the in the last 2 seasons, right? Things, at least for right now, in the first couple of weeks of this patch, things are actually feeling pretty good price-wise for trading. So trading your way up is very easy and very, very powerful. Just don't forget about your level filter, the level requirement filter. Put your current max level in here, and you're good to go. So just before we end the video, guys, I want to show you how easy it is to actually do the trading in-game now. So let's say you found an item that you liked. You click this button here, travel to hideout. And look, it is going to automatically teleport us to this player's hideout. We no longer have to wait for an invite. Don't have to do any of that. We don't even have to talk to them. They don't even have to be online. That's it.
Definitely want that one.
We did it. That's all we have to do. Fantastic. Guys, if you found this useful at all, smash like and subscribe for me. Catch you in the next video. Hope you all have a fantastic, amazing day wherever you are. Take it easy.